I've gone to Benin and our neighbors a couple of times, many times, trying to see if we can agree. There's an established protocol of transit of goods, which is an ETLS, this is not our creation, it's an ECOWAS creation, which says all goods, first and foremost, you cannot transit goods from another country through another country to your own country. So I'll give an example. There's no reason why the law does not allow goods made for Chad to land in Cotonou and then transit into Chad, because we are the nearest country to them that has a port. So they are supposed to bring their goods through Nigeria or Cameroon, which is bordering Chad. But that is happening. Secondly, in the case of Benin, before I even came to customs, there was an agreement based on transit. And they said they had no transport, they had no means because they have no strength. Then Nigerian Customs Service, government asked Nigerian Customs Service to give them 10 brand new helios. And the essence is for them to escort all transit goods that lands at their shore to the customs of Nigeria at our own border. And they did that for 1 week and stopped. And since then, right now that I'm talking, there are over 10 to 20 million tons of rice in Benin Republic, pavo rice. They don't eat pavo rice, they don't consume pavo rice. There are 12 million people. Even if they do, that is just too much for them. That rice is destined to come to Nigeria. We have banned the importation of rice through our borders. As a matter of fact, we have literally banned the importation of rice to Nigeria because for the past 3 years, no Form M has been given for importation of rice. And that Form M is the license, is the only credible document for formal importation of rice. So which means we have not imported rice and we are not importing rice. And the idea is to enhance our own food security, to build our own food security, encourage our farmers so that they can grow and sell. And they have been doing that. But certainly this has become a problem. The drugs that are coming into Nigeria today, 95% of it come through our borders. Porous borders, these guys can take it through any route. Weapons. Mr. Chairman, I make bold to say today, since we closed the border, the acts of banditry has reduced drastically. And our own conclusion is that two things. Either those who create this havoc cross our borders, create this havoc and run back, or the ammunitions and arms that they use, which comes at will, is no longer coming. So this act is reducing. And that's then the drugs that are coming through our borders, which affect the health and well-being of our people, has also been reduced drastically. So we felt we must compel our neighbors to agree to sign the documents that will enable us to execute the exact letter of the protocol on transit. Goods that are on prohibition list to Nigeria should never be exported or allowed to be exported to Nigeria. So if, for instance, youth clothing, which is completely total prohibition, if Benin allows youth clothing because they use it, they should not, under the protocol, allow the export of youth clothing into Nigeria. Likewise, the vegetable oil, because we're trying to grow our own list, they should not allow the use or the exportation of the vegetable oil or even poultry product. The poultry product, let Nigerians know, the same chemical that is used to embalm dead bodies is the same chemical that is injected into those chickens and turkeys to preserve it for our consumption. So this is how bad it is. The rice that we eat, 95% of it is expired. It's expired rice. Those that goes to buy it are Indians and Lebanese, and they come and rebag these things and send it to us. If you want to test this, cook the two rice, our own Abakaliki rice, and cook the foreign rice. Cover it for 48 hours, tight, and open the two. After 48 hours, you will hear the smell that will come from the foreign rice. It's terrible. It's terrible. That means it's chemicalized and the chemicals have expired, and therefore it becomes poison. So this is what we are trying to protect Nigerians from, and we have to do it. Our job is not only collecting revenue, it's security and the well-being of Nigerians. And therefore closing the border has become necessary so that we can get our neighbors to come to a table so that we can sit down and agree on imposing the protocol agreed by ECOWAS. If we do that, then all these illicit things which are not supposed to be exported or allowed to be exported into our country will not be allowed to be exported. For instance, based on this closure, Niger Republic has circulated an order to say no more exportation of rice or in any form to Nigeria. These are the types of things that we are looking forward to. And unless we get to that, these borders will continue to remain closed.